So here's the things that we have to figure out for the next game. One, does Vashlock have? Am I saying that right? Vashlank still have the Frozen Man on that we found. Is he still like carrying him? Did he put him down? What happened to him? That's kind of an important thing for us to know. I feel like because Anthony kind of left us on the hey, where's the Frozen Man? And then he went to his car and left, like a dirty DM. I do the same. Anyway, and he also left us with the idea that we have two ways to go about our exploring each other's backgrounds, and our what our characters want to do. We can go back to the barracks, have our slumber party, and do it all there. Or we could go on a trip up to the monastery. He said that it would be a wagon trip, and we would have plenty of time to do that stuff on the way there as we're doing another thing. There's an advantage to this as Lex won't be able to be there until 8:30. So if we do it that way, there can be some gameplay with the guild house first, and then we get on the wagon trail, and that also kind of gives. I have to admit, I'm kind of for that idea because it gives Soren a chance to go to the monastery and try and find Yama. Sorry. That was another thing. In talking with Iskamir, we found out Tamalau was the traitor. I kind of suspected that myself. I don't think Soren did, but anyway. So yeah, he been working with the Skrull, and this Jin apparently has too. So there's a lot of reoccurring villains kind of thing going on. Anyway, so while on that wagon trail, I see we have a few options, 3 to be exact. One, I know from talking with Carson that Sam, and I completely get it and want to kind of head that way too a little bit. It would be easy for Soren to go, yeah, let's go north. There's a commonality with dragons. Find out where they came from. We're finding out their history because that can in some way possibly lead us back home. Then the other option is staying in the center, in the town. Anthony said he's got plenty of city escapades for us to do. He said he can work at any one of these options. So he's got plenty for us to do in the city if we want it. And it would be basically a nerd party on how do we get home. I can understand how that's not exactly what everyone wants to do. But that's another option. And the third option is saving Tulio's privates. Miguel is going to be hard pushed to go that way, and he's already said if we don't go that way, Miguel is. So we have those options, and what's great about it is we have enough characters, enough people that have dual characters that it could work out. Carson has Sam if we go north. Carson has Tulio if we go south. I imagine that we can work something out with Sam to stay center if we wanted to go there, if we wanted to stay here too. I imagine that wouldn't be as much of a stretch. Sam won't go south. Wouldn't make sense for his character. I don't blame him. If we stay center, obviously Soren is okay with trying to figure out how to get home. I can't imagine. other than Miguel, I can't imagine anyone that wouldn't be able to want to stay center. That would also, either of these two options so far would give Akrith a way to leave the group if she wants to, because it sounded like, or if he wants to, sorry. It sounded like Lex wanted to change to a new character, and that would be a good way to do it. And that would be a good way for Miguel to keep, or to go and leave the group and have Dr. Isabella be his character. Going south, again, Soren can go south. Soren tracking down Tulio is possibly a way that he can show that Soren can show Miguel he doesn't need him, and that there's a friendship that will stick with him as well, and that could knit him in. Possibly, if we find Tulio, knit Tulio in. If we don't find Tulio, I don't know. So those are our three options: north, center, and south. We'll get emails out. Either Anthony or I will, and we'll have a vote on that. So Anthony knows best how to prepare. Try and get that done by Monday, so he has at least a few more days. Yeah, I think that's pretty much. That pretty much does it for everything. Soren's in it one way or the other. He'll be going wherever the group ends up going. I'm sold on his story, and there's enough that I could reason one way or the other. I kind of built his character so there is and is not a draw. Sorry, I'm swatting at gnats. There isn't a draw for him to go home. There isn't a draw for him to go south with Miguel. There isn't a draw for him to find out more about this world. So that's easy for me to reason out. I think everyone needs to take some time to think about what is it that this is something that Carson said. What is it that their character really wants? And everyone needs to think about this. This is Neo, Gesh needs to think about this. He needs to have a want other than, what does this do? We all want to figure that out too, but we also want to figure out who you are, who your character is. So be ready to be asked, because that might come. Looking through a lot of the other stuff, I mean, Rudy, we've got a pretty decent idea on. Sam, we've got a pretty decent idea on. But we also need to know what it is that they want to do. It's not been said in character. And I think that all has to come out in the wagon trail or the slumber party, whichever we do. Mallet and Dr. Isabella know each other, and so we kind of need to flush that out some and figure out, okay, let the shock wear off. What is it that you want? Because I'm sure Mallet's probably going, wait, what do you mean this isn't Faerun anymore? Isabella is kind of just like, okay, this isn't Faerun, let's figure this out. Makes sense. And I think you pretty much, Xander, I think you know what Miguel wants to do. So there it is, guys. I hope I'm trying out turning the camera, so I hope this pops up on YouTube just fine. If it doesn't, I'll figure it out. Anyway, see you guys.